Someone's asking, how do I know this is a real Dan Lutz in my chat room?
So from the time you fix, it seems to be, are we like an hour early?
No, we're on time. It's just the Hong Kong time actually made it, for some reason, it got changed to 11 o'clock. It should have been 10. And so, but the other time zones, it's all the correct timing. Unless there is some kind of spring forward. Does it make any sense? No. Yeah. All right. People are showing up anyway. So we are broadcasting live now, but we're just still getting people in. It's working. All right, so that we're broadcasting. All right, getting everything lined up. Let's see who else is waiting in the room here. And there's Nathan.
Hello, King Nathan.
There's Raul.
Hello, King Nathan.
What's up, Frederick? Hey.
That is my brother.
Frederick, yeah, buddy. You know it. The threefold cord is not easily broken.
Yeah.
And all for one for all.
Where we go,
that's how I feel. Hey, here comes Robert. Hey, Robert.
Hello.
Hello, Sam.
I just have to turn on my video.
There.
Hello, Sam. Hello, Robert.
Hello, hello.
Oh. Hi.
Sultan.
Good. How are you, sir?
just hey, just realize this one good thing that I mean, we're over here fighting for the people. Guess what? We're gonna win, and I believe the admin's either gonna humble himself, he's gonna have to like run and hide somewhere.
Well, you know,
It's a win-win game. It's a win-win system. Everybody will win at the end of the day.
well,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
well, I
Absolutely.
think,
I think, I mean, from what I've seen right from the beginning when I got involved, and you know, we really, I got on fire for this thing, and I loved it. But when we started, you know, we're going to have technical failures, and you know, we're going to have trial and error and stuff like that. That's going to happen when you're pioneering any new business, and you know, 3 years is really good. It means we've got some really good quality people here. It's not just a bunch of yo-yos out in it for the money. And I know you personally, and I know Sam some. I know him a little bit, and I know Dan. I mean, I see you guys. You guys don't for the money, do for the people. So, anyways, I just thought I'd throw that in there. And you know, God bless Adam. I really hope he changes his heart and mind. That's about all I can say at this moment.
The Bible says the heart of the king is in the hands of God. You know, it doesn't matter who you are, as long as the human heart is in the hands of God. God has the final authority. All power belongs to him at the end of the day. So we are here to. This is not a one-man project. This is not a one-man project. So if we are co-creating this, then you must listen. This is the time to form the Privy Council. We need to know the board of trustees. Then we need to define this relationship, or else we can't risk our investment, our life on this. If we continue like this, then we are doomed.
Yes.
This is complete enslavement. See?
really,
I almost wonder, since nobody's,
yes,
you know,
yes, we're
since
wrong
nobody's
on.
supposedly seen this admin guy,
So we're,
you know,
we're on
he's
to
done
join.
great up till just recently, as far as I'm concerned. But
You have the
you
link?
know, even then, he'll be found. You know, if he wants to keep trying to do, I mean, you just can't turn it against your top, the people that lifted you up in the first place. It's like like shooting yourself in the foot in a way. We basically are carrying him up to what his original vision was. I thought it was of God, and God will give us a vision and a dream. And you know what? And if that person doesn't carry it out, he'll replace that person with another king.
That's true, bro. We are not saying that anybody should be replaced because you have a vision, and then we are saying that you should cooperate with us and you should work with the people. If you're anonymous, remain anonymous. The people that have their face, you know, on this in the public, we have thousands of people. This is my office. I have thousands of people who come to my office to me about. So if you put out this kind of policies where people cannot talk to you, you don't want to meet anybody because you no, it doesn't work that way. So we must come to a common ground. You understand? We're not saying that admin should remove law. We thank God for him, a wonderful person he has been. What he has been doing over the years, I really appreciate him for that. But where we have reached now, we must have a privy council. We can't allow one person to just take, you know, drastic decisions from all of us. No, no one.
Yes,
No.
I was.
Absolutely. Frederick, I totally agree with you on that. You know, I've been CEO of my own company, and you know, there were times I was going wrong, I was going astray, and it wasn't really that I was. Yeah, we all make mistakes, okay? And I had people that lifted me up underneath of me. You know what? I humbled myself because that's, you know, it really can get, that position can get to anybody's head. I don't care who you are. I mean, if you're a man or a woman, and if you say it won't, you're I think you're probably lying. But it just does. And I made some bad mistakes, and thank God I had guys like you guys that tells me the truth, even in love. And I changed. And you know what? That company's still in business even to this day, you know, 19, 20 years later, you know, because I listened to good counsel and I sold it, yeah, you know, and because I want to do something new. And, but that's just it. If he wants, we'll lift you up. I mean, you confess that you're going back against your word, you know, admin, you know, I've done that too. I've gone back on my word many times. And you know what? I look like an ass. And I, you know what? And I thank God he's amazingly gracious. He gives grace to the humble. And I do believe that if you really truly humble yourself, and just listen to what we have to say. Well, I don't want to throw you off. I don't. I don't want your position. I hate to have that position. It really is. Being CEO is not as fun as people think it is. We'll lift you up, but that's just it, brother. You have to hear the cries of the people. You know, I heard pastors talking about the possibility of getting beat up and going back home and being jumped and stuff like that. You know, because we're not keeping our word and we're changing our minds a lot and we're making things inconsistent. Even the government dollars, you know, don't. You know, they're not that inconsistent, you know. So what's wrong with us if we're not doing better than the world? We should be united as one and, you know, work together and listen, because some of us, even though you're leading a pack of 3.5 million people, there's millions more watching. And man, if you you don't want that kind of fight where you fall in front of millions of people, because you will be exposed. I guarantee you that. Mark my words, you will. I want to see you exposed as somebody who did something great. That's what that's my heart's desire, and you know, I pray that it happens, and it can. All things possible with God. He changes his heart toward the kings when they confess their wrongs to him. You know what? Let's move on. You know what? I think that will also be an example to other people to also do the same thing. If they're running their family wrong, or if they're beating their wife, you know, and they're not, that's not the way to keep her home, you know. I mean, or look at whatever, you know. You will also multiply good change for the good, because so many people have the same character defect in them as you and I do. So this is your time to shine, actually. So I'll stop talking. Let anyone else talk now.
Well, I believe there's a disconnect somewhere. There's a disconnect somewhere. You can't build a system like this alone. That's just it. And he himself said it. You can't build a system alone like this alone. Nobody wants your position. I don't want anybody to come. I don't want anybody to come in position. I have my own business. I understand the way an entrepreneur thinks. I understand the way someone who has been an employee is like. I know the way they think. You see, so I understand the way network marketers think. You see, you know, when you're building your own company, your personal business, you sometimes you take decisions yourself. You know, because you don't really want people imposing their ideas on you. I know that sometimes as an entrepreneur, we don't really want a bunch of bureaucracy, where decisions have to go through a lot of process before they are taken, like where we are today. But a privy council with the right people can get things done on time. You know what I mean? I'm looking at in this place as an admin of these projects. I'm looking at our place as members of this community. I'm also looking at it from the point of an entrepreneur who wants to see his business succeed. See, what I want the admin to know is that this is not just a one-man business. This is people. This is the word. This is our time. This is our resources. This is our money.
Amen. Yes, that's correct. We are
away from slavery back to another enslavement. We can't do that. TBC was never like this, where you threaten people. Who want to work in a place where you are threatened? Nobody wants to work in a place where you are threatened. Who threatens you to own your Bitcoin? That if you don't do this in your Bitcoin wallet will be shut. Will be shut down. Who threatens people like that? So it will not work for a global system. For a global system, you have to look at the people. There must be committees, like the Privy Council, like we talked about, like the Board of Trustees. All these things must be formed. Decisions cannot be taken by only you. If you want to take decision alone, then I'm sorry. This will not work. That's it.
Well,
it doesn't matter the millions or billions you think you want to create for the world. If you cannot work with people, you want to control them, they are running away from slavery, you want to bring them back to slavery, sorry, it will not work. And nobody is afraid of anybody. It doesn't matter whether you are anonymous hiding somewhere. We are not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of any man on earth. The only person I fear is God, like the Lord Jesus Christ, the one I answer to. So if you say you are Alpha and Omega because you have designed something and you cannot listen to people that has been building with you for 3.5 years, you can't listen to people that have been building a system for 3.5 years, who want to work with somebody like this? Yes, I know we need growth. But you need to talk to the leaders. Are we going to pay $25 for the rest of our lives? Are we going to pay $8 for the rest of our lives? What will $8 be in 10 years? What will $8 be in 100 years? What are you talking about? And the poorest person pay 8 grain of gold in 10 years, in 20 years. What are you talking about? So we are ready to go to any length to ensure TBC succeed. Because we want to see TBC succeed. We will not allow one man to destroy TBC. No.
Yeah. Well,
no.
I think I'm sorry to interrupt. But I think we should get started. We've got a lot of the leaders here. Thank you all for coming. There's some background noise. Let me mute everybody. And then you can unmute yourself if you want to say something. But just so that we can go through this. Now, I just want to say there is a holding area in in this Zoom room because there's about 19 people waiting there. We're broadcasting live on the YouTube channel at the same time, so you can watch on YouTube. It's at my YouTube channel, which is Dan Lutz. So www.youtube.com/c/Dan Lutz, and you can watch there if you like. But we will open this up and bring the other people in later. But for right now, we have a lot to cover. We're going to do this for 2 different days. Tomorrow, the same time, we'll start. Of course, we're a half an hour into the time slot that we thought we'd start at. First, I want to say we're not here to bash admin. We're not here to basically talk about old issues, things that you were upset about before. There's plenty to be upset about with this current policy. I must say, when I first read it, was it 3 weeks ago or so, I was so angry. Right, I felt so belittled for everything that I've done to help grow TBC. I literally couldn't eat that day. I was just beside myself, and I was right in the midst of a very intense amount of work that I was doing. I wasn't even sleeping more than 2 hours a day, ongoing for a few weeks. So I couldn't even address any of the issues here, and I didn't even know what to do because there's so many feelings associated with this because it is wrong on so many levels. And I did go through and have to outline them, and I went through the founding documents of the Kringle Society. The first mention of it comes October 1st of last year. So we're literally coming up on 1 year. And though this is the formalization of something we had started 3.5 years ago, meaning putting a structure. Because when we started, we quickly found out what we're doing is building a community, and now what we call a society. But we've all worked very, very hard, and to basically have someone say, well, you need to get back to work. You need to do this, or we're going to take your coin, or you're going to pay. This felt just like extortion, So I started doing research and figuring out what's wrong. So I went through all of the mission statement and the articles of association, and I just started outlining things, one thing after the next, and I was really more focused at that time about. I was really focused at that time about what exactly is going on here. Why am I now being asked to pay $25 a month? I've done a lot to build up members. I don't know, I'm 800 last time I looked at it, and I don't look because mostly I brought in people through doing videos and explaining how many people are coming through, and explain them about how to use the system, the tools, and the promotion site. And it was fine to pay for the promotion site once a year to have access to a promotion site. And I paid my lifetime wallet fee. I have the coins in my wallet. So if I didn't want to think about TBC for 5 years, and because I'm focused on other things, why should I have to think that I'm going to lose everything? Who thinks about that? I have a bank account somewhere that I haven't even looked at, a savings account somewhere. I'm not thinking that the bank is going to come around and then just wipe out my account, well, unless there was rules to do so. Which is part of the issues is that the rules as we joined were fair and paying a lifetime wallet fee and moving on what we have developed in promotions as a separate site. This was a system. You know, you could understand it. It was fair. There's no problem. But now this was very gut wrenching to think that I'm being extorted. That was my initial feeling, and I was so angry. I was so angry about this. I really was beside myself. Because I know, what Kringle Society is all about. It's about lifting people up out of poverty, not, creating another debt system that you have to now abide by. Hey, I'm going to put this on you. Hey, I'm going to put this on you. Hey, you do it or I take your coin. That's not right. So anyway, I went through and I prepared basically a list of grievances, what the issues are. Now, I also compared everything that was in the Articles of Association and the mission statement and outlined that, and I submitted it to admin. I don't talk about admin. I have never done that in all these last 3.5 years. I'd never say anything about admin. Anything when people are talking about it, I basically just say what the policy is, what we're trying to do, and that's what we focus on. Who's the creator? Kris Kringle. Originally Santa Claus, right? So there's a reason for all of that. So in going through and analyzing all the steps, I have a very strong background in contracts and in the law. Not because I'm a lawyer, not because I'm an attorney, but because I had studied legal systems. So I understand what the basis of law is, what we call and what our founding documents of the Kringle Society's founding in is called the Maxims of Equity. In other words, it's also known as common law, God's law, nature's law. It's what ought to be. You could say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's another way of looking at it. So when you realize not just our society, Kringle Society, is based upon maxims of equity, but literally every government around the world is based in that. There are other systems of law that we deal with in the world which are causing us a lot of problems. One of the reasons why we look to making our own society is because of those other systems, such as maritime admiralty law, the law of the sea, also known as the law of piracy, what legalized piracy is all about. So the debt-based system, that's all under maritime law. It's all about statutes. Do this, do this, do this, because you're not really a living being, which is infinite in value that they're dealing with there. They're dealing with an inventory item, a number, an entity created by a birth certificate. So a lot we're doing in the Kringle Society is to have something other than that. So when this policy came out from admin, and it was so much against the maxims of equity, against God's law. That's why I was so angry and upset. I felt that all the work that I put into it was just disregarded, belittled, devalued. And what we've learned in the Kringle Society is that we are all equal, and even when we partner and when we bring new members in, and you don't have enough coin, and you're working with someone who has a lot of coin, you do it as a 50-50 partnership, because you can't raise one above the other. They're equal. All members are equal. So this is how we've come to know what the Kringle Society is all about. We've grown and developed our culture. So this policy just goes against everything, and that's why it took me several days of laying it out and going through it and pulling it together. So I'm going to go through the complaints, now the grievances, what I see was the main issues and what this does. And it seems like a simple thing to change, right? But it affects everything. So first, let me go ahead and I'll share my screen. 1 second, and then I have to do it for those that are on YouTube separately. So give me a moment here. There's that. There we go. Okay. So this is an excerpt from the document that I submitted to admin and also to Pantera de Oro, because Kringle Society exists under the jurisdiction of Pantera de Oro Private Contract Association. So, emergency stay of execution of the new policy and notice of grievances and violations of the Kringle Society mission statement and articles of association. Emergency stay of execution of new parties to remove the value from the members' wallets in which they are the executive trustee over, unless you pay a monthly fee. And the notice of grievances and violations of the Kringle Society mission statement and articles. So here's the emergency request. We request an immediate stay of execution of this policy for 90 days that it is scheduled to take effect on September 1st, 2019, in order for a solution to be arrived at between members of the Kringle Society and the TBC Admin Office of Overseer. That's the official title of the TBC Admin in regards to the Kringle Society. All is not well in the Kringle Society, as great city cries of pain and agony are being expressed. There is great discontent from the community since the new policy threatens the members with loss of their coin unless they pay a monthly fee. After speaking with members that have long been leaders of our Kringle Society, we came to the conclusion that this policy is wrong and goes against the spirit and the written word of the Kringle Private Contract Association, Articles of Association, and Mission Statement. Our founding documents are created under the Maxim of Equity, where equity sees what is done, what ought to be done, or in this case, what not to do. Admin, by his edict, posted on the blog.thebillioncoin.info, where you lose from the value we hold in our wallet. This pay up or else policy goes against every essence of the society that we must take action to stop this new policy and peacefully come to a new policy that is in harmony with our members' hearts and minds. And we talk. This is about the meetings right here. We'll start this with this open debate here, and it's these are the times. Now, I must point out that for some reason the time got mixed up for Hong Kong, so it's actually 10 p.m. So these are the main grievances. There's 8 of them, and we're just going to go through that before, and then we'll discuss them. Well, we can discuss them one at a time. So the first one, new policy without a privy council. The policy change was announced by TBC Admin to force payment of monthly fees or lose the value contained in the wallet for members with over 1 TBC coin is in violation of the Kringle Society mission statement, Articles of Association. This policy change will result in the end of TBC. And I truly feel that that is the case. This new policy is an edict of the TBC Admin, Office of Overseer, and without input from the community/society members through the Privy Council. There has been a consistent cry from the community of not having any say in our Kringle Society policies. Since the creation 9 months ago of the documents formalizing the Kringle Society and trust structures, the TBC Admin has not discussed with the TBC community leaders and filling the positions of the Privy Council, the Master Trust, or other positions, and therein denied the members a voice and say in the Kringle Society. Okay, well, this is the first part. This is really that we don't have a voice. So why don't we discuss this a little before I go on? Does anyone like to make a comment?
And Randy Wilson here. I think that the fact that largely TBC having sort of a one-directional communication, it almost seemed to be fitting in the previous years. I mean, I don't think many people were complaining. However, holding the title of the voice after for a little while, I realized that being the voice, all of a sudden I was also inundated with opinions and perspectives, complaints and whatnot of the community. And it really dawned on me during that time that, maybe a better communication system should be in place. An effective and efficient communication system should be in place so that the community can air their concerns or their opinions. And even then, what are you going to do? It seemingly we had a limited technology. Seemingly, it was necessary for anonymity of the admin, and that I think everyone in general could understand. So I don't think it was that big of an issue. But when we get to the point where there's increasing fees, fee after fee, I mean, the whole system seems to be turning into sort of a fee-intensive sort of environment. Well, I think that it demands room for counsel.
Yeah.
It demands room for more communication effectiveness. And I think that's what we're facing here too, is that, and it's like our brother Frederick was saying, you can't have where all of a sudden there's all of this demand for financial payments in order to participate, and this is in the U.S. It's kind of tough to say this because it's such a big political thing going on, but a pay-to-play kind of environment that starts to definitely give us all a different kind of emotion about what's going on, and we definitely at this point should see more avenues for council communication, opening up dialogue with these kind of decisions being made. Otherwise, and I'll just close with this, otherwise you are going to have division in the community, obviously, and there's no place for this kind of pressure to release itself. So what I'm afraid of seeing is a mass division and then obviously destruction. So I think it's so important that we have this council available so that we can discuss some of these ideas and get the perspective of the community to represent some of these decisions, going forward. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, I agree very much. So I'll share this is the other document. We'll still go back to the other one. We'll flip back and forth. I think so. Maybe I selected the wrong one. So let me try this again. Maybe I have to have it on here first. Yeah, that's probably it. Okay, try this again. So and this is a separate document that was so it's notice of emergency formation of a Kringle Society Privy Council. To all members of the Kringle Society, Office of Overseer, TBC Admin, and Pantero de Oro Private Society, on this date of August 30th, 2019, this notice is hereby given that the members of the Kringle Society whom have taken the mission of Kringle Society to our heart and are well known as leaders within the body politic in accordance with our Kringle Private Contract Association Articles of Association and Mission Statement, and due to the emergency brought about by the new policy effective on September 1st, 2019, of the TBC Admin to remove the members remove from members the TBC coin, units of beneficial interest, contained within their wallet over which which the member is the executive trustee, unless they pay a debt on a monthly basis. And according to the law of necessity and the maxims of equity, that due to the non-action of over the last year of the Office of Overseer to form a Privy Council, Board of Trustees, Court of Ecclesia, appoint Justice of a Court to handle disputes as outlined in the Kringle Private Contract Association, Articles of Association, Article the 2nd, Venue and Jurisdiction, we hereby take it upon ourselves to bring into being the Kringle Society Privy Council. This Privy Council will address the issues related to the emergency mentioned above and will seek to come to a peaceful resolution in the matter. Sorry about that. And related to the issues mentioned above, and will seek to come into peaceful resolution to the matter with TBC Admin in accordance with the mission statement and the Articles of Association. We want the issue to be resolved satisfactorily, and since there has been no steps made by the overseer to create a Court of Ecclesia, we will use the Court of Ecclesia from Pantero de Oro to resolve the dispute. So, and I would say that what I have in my background here is an excerpt of what Ken Scott, Office of Overseer, Pantero de Oro, said in receiving the documents that I sent to him. I also sent to admin. I also sent to the commissioner. I will communicate with admin over the next few days and then coordinate how to have a meeting to address things, and if necessary, take it to the Court of Ecclesia under the protocols to settle these issues. So this is you know, a way in which we are to have a voice in how Kringle Society is to be run. It is how how the formation is there, and it is long overdue. So anyway, we will. I'll continue, but we can have a discussion about this particular. Anyone would like to join in about this particular part? Please let me know.
Yes, even the admin, few days ago in one of his blog said that this is a system of the people, for the people and by the people. So if he truly believes that this is a system of the people, for the people and by the people, I believe he will be willing to listen to us on this. Because if this Privy Council is not formed now, people will lose confidence in TBC. The loss of confidence is failure. The end of the project. If you think because you've designed a project and that has about 3.5 million, no other person can build a system like that, you're lying, you're deceiving yourself. The same Holy Spirit that gave you the inspiration to design this can take it away from you and give it to somebody else. So he has to listen to us.
Thank you, Frederick. Okay. All right. So we can continue. We'll go back to the other grievances. Okay. Let me share my screen. Sorry about that. All right. A lot of windows here. I got to move around. So the second issue, as I see it, is extortion. The threat against our membership of the Kringle Society to remove the send button, access to the wallet, the value of the coin, or prevention of those to migrate to a new wallet unless the member pays 8 grains of gold per month, approximately $25 now, is extortion. Or the definition of extortion is the illegal use of one's official position or powers to obtain property, funds, or patronage. So, quite frankly, it's just the threat. It's not the actual taking of the value. It's the actual threat is extortion. So, implementing the policy, just stating that that's a policy is extortion. And we'll just to go right into the number 3, carrying out the threat of extortion results in removal of value of wallet is the theft of the value from the members. So would anyone like to have anything to say about these two? Because this, I think, is a very, this changes the real heart of what we've been doing. To this point, there has not been, although people have called TBC a scam, they just didn't understand what we were doing. And to this point, there has been never a time that it was anything that was being done that was illegal. But these types of events are illegal. This is it's against the maxims of equity. This is not what ought to be done.
Well, Dan, imagine if you woke up today and you had a knock at your door and someone said, "Hey, there is now a law that you have to turn over your first month's salary to the government. So every year, starting today, you have to turn your first month's salary over to the government." And it woke you up out of your sleep and then if they said you have to turn your first month's salary over to the government, and let's say they come to you and say this is the first month, okay, this is the first month you have to turn your salary over to the government. Your whole month of salary has to go to the government starting now. And you go, what? When did that happen? And they go, oh, what? You don't watch TV? Oh, you don't listen to the radio? We've said this for the last 2 weeks over the radio, over the TV, that you're gonna have to pay your first month's salary to the government, and it's starting this month. So pay up, or you lose your home, or you lose your home. Of course we go, oh well, that's ridiculous. That would be a ridiculous situation.
You mean like, by the way, you have to buy insurance, or we're going to basically fee you an Obama fee on your Obamacare?
Absolutely. Imagine that. Or just in California, California, it looks like they're getting ready to pass a law that you have to vaccinate your children, even against your will. Okay, this is all getting to happen in California.
Already happening in New York.
It's already happening in New York.
Yeah.
Okay. So this idea that you have to pay to play, or do or else. These kind of actions are tough to swallow. These are tough actions to swallow, and sort of an attack. They feel like an attack. A lot of us have done a lot of work to get our friends and our families and really express. We've defended and we've aligned with TBC, the meaning, the mission, the vision, and we really put ourselves out there. Are we to go back to these people and say, oh, you haven't been paying attention? Oh, you have to, you're going to have to pay, or you lose your coin.
Right.
There's got to be a better way. I think that's why we're all here at this point, by the way. It's like you said, it's not to condemn, or it's not to attack, but we're here to say that there's got to be a better way, because this method that we're faced with right now sounds a lot like some of the things that is opposite of what we stand for.
Yeah,
so,
it's very cabal-like.
Yeah. And you're making a blanket move. All the billionaires. That just sounds kind of a cabal-y.
Well, it's like it's different classes and divide and conquer. So this is what the cabal does: is they divide and conquer, and divide you against colors, divide you against your size, against your sex, against your gender. Divide. Now they divide into 72 genders. We're all equal, right? You can't do that. Now that's one of the other points down below, but that's part of the issue, right? Is that we can't be divided.
What the admin need to understand is that when a lot of us, when we joined, we bought the coin. I bought my first coin at $250 per coin. So because I can't pay $25 now, I should return the value to you. That's theft. That's daylight robbery. If you want to apply this new policy to new people coming in now, say, listen, you guys from this day forward coming in, if you want to be on a billionaire in TBC, you must pay your $25 or whatever monthly fee. That makes sense. You can say, okay, the new guys that are coming have
well, it's a new agreement. It's a
new agreement.
You can't it's part of Maxims of Equity. You cannot unilaterally change a contract on somebody just because you feel like it, right? Yeah, well, I want only the billionaires now to pay. Well, I want all the billionaires to pay $1,000 a month. Come on, they're billionaires, or I'm going to remove your coin. Or you have to get 20 people a day. If you don't get 20 people a day, I'm going to take your coin. Or
it is like a case of harvesting your farm product when it is not mature. That's basically we're still working to make TBC liquid.
well, even if it was mature, even if you could go to the ATM machine, punch in some numbers, and get the TBC converted right there on the spot to go and do it. That's regardless. Doesn't matter. You just can't change a contract on somebody and say, no, these are the new terms. It's just what it is. Sorry, go along with it. That's why it's extortion. You go along with this, pay your first month's check, pay the protection money, or you lose this property. I take it from you, but it's mine. So. Anyway, any other comments, and we'll go on. Okay, all right. So number 4, debt slavery. The creation of a debt/obligation on the members in order to maintain their own value is creating the situation where any future obligations can be added. It was just kind of covering this anyway. But slaves have no rights and can be ordered to do anything without a contract or agreement. Any obligation can be created by the slave master for the slave to perform or face the wrath of the slave master. Pay money, create videos, bring in members, or do anything can be ordered to be done. I think we're just kind of discussing this anyway. It kind of because one feeds into the other, obviously. Anyone would like to make a comment?
Yes, nobody want to work in an environment where they are ordered around. They say you have to do this or do that. You don't do this, you get out. It doesn't work. This is an abundance-based thing. If we say abundance-based system, is a place of love where we have love and respect for other human beings. So if you have love and respect for other human beings and you understand that value is coming from these people, you can't take value away from them.
Yeah.
If you take value away from them, it's because you have devalued yourself. So that's just it. So he has to stop that.
Thank you, Frederick. So next is number 5, broken agreement. The agreement contained within the membership agreement is, as well as complete body of blogs posted by TBC Admin, have been the guide on how our Kringle Society has defined ourselves, is broken by this policy. We treat all members as equals. We bring wealth to them and their families for generations to come. Our members have to have met their obligation and must not be coerced or threatened or punished. The agreement to date presented the obligation requirements which must be filled to join is the pay a lifetime wallet fee to turn on your send button. Receive 30 days free access to the Kringle Cash promotion site. And 3, honor the membership agreement, which states you must honor the daily price and not discount the coin. This, by extension, means you cannot discount the value from which the coin is based, which is the member's life force. Members that maintain the membership agreement by honoring the daily price in their transactions and or held their wallets in their family's wealth for the future are within their rights to maintain their wallets. To change any agreement can only be done for new members that the agreement to those terms. The agreement cannot be changed retroactively to create an obligation on past members that they do not agree to. So, any comments?
I think it says it all. At the end of the day, we all came in with the belief that when you pay your $10, your lifetime wallet fee is paid. You don't have to pay transaction
Right.
fee, anybody. And the idea that people can come in for 30 days to have a look on how the back office and have a feel of TBC was fantastic. You know, now if you remove the value from the people, you as the admin has discounted the coin. That is what it means. So at the end of the day, that's a serious breach of agreement.
Right. Well, it is. As long as we are not, our value, that we put into it, no matter whether we were exchanging some fiat, exchanging some services, exchanging items, and you ended up with however much it was in your wallet, that value is basically yours. The coin is owned by the trust, but the value is under your ability to as the executive trustee over this sub trust is yours to use as you see fit. So coming up with a way of removing that is breaking the agreement. And if you want to break it you want to change it and make everything okay from this day forward, everyone has to pay, but everyone prior to this, they don't have to do that anymore. That's feasible that you can do it, but I don't think anyone's going to come in. Who's going to come into TBC and say, "Oh, yeah, I'd be glad to pay $25 a month, to participate in this coin that's really hard to sell." This is why this ends TBC. This policy cannot be done where you force people to pay to have the wallet when there is no easy way. We're not at that stage where it's easy to use. If it were, we would be growing much faster. All right. Well, let's move on to the next one, number 6.
Hey Dan,
Yes.
if I may add a little bit
Sure.
to what you're saying there.
Yeah.
Nowhere does it say in, as far as I'm aware, correct me if I'm wrong, but nowhere does it say that a TBC member is required to participate on any level. This is a voluntary army. We're all a voluntary army with this thing. It was all voluntary. Up until recently, everything was voluntary. If you came on board with TBC, if you used the coin, held the coin, if you decided to become a broadcaster, if you decided to do whatever you wanted to do, it's all voluntary. That's what the spirit of this business, if you will, this platform is. Not a business, but maybe more of a platform. That's what made it special, that we were able to go out and attract the world population based on principles, merit, because of the elevated, benevolence. We love our community. We love the people of the world. We don't hate the people of the world. We don't demand from the people of the world. We don't have expectations of the people of the world. We simply want to invite people to the environment of TBC so that they can share in the love that we have for humanity, protection, education, awareness. Maybe I sound silly talking about these types of things, but that was what we came into TBC for, is this, to embrace these kind of higher characteristics of humanity. But once you start turning into these fear of loss kind of methods to motivate, it's almost like cracking a whip. Dare I say, we're cracking a whip now, and that just, to me, that's difficult for the community at large when, we've just done so much to exemplify these sort of characteristics that make us a higher level of humanity. So just want to add that part.
No, thank you. Yeah, no, you're quite right. We also had that under Section 4, debt slavery. That's the cracking of the whip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go on now to number 6, devaluation of TBC coin. The removal without cause of any value from any member's wallet is discounting TBC coin's value. Whatever a member did to earn TBC coin and the value contained in their wallet, that member met their obligation. Even if it was only joining and paying a lifetime wallet fee and with only the gifted coin in their wallet. Or if they purchased many TBC coins, or that member toiled endlessly to bring in new members and took advantage of the promotions and earned one to many millions of TBC coins in their wallet, they have met their obligations. Their joining has contributed to the value of each and every TBC coin. This value it comes from their infinite value of their life force. If any value is removed from their wallet, you are devaluing their past efforts that have earned that value and thus devaluing TBC coin. So,
just like, I teach people how to trade. And when this merchant thing started, I gave opportunity to the community to trade, and the people paid. I think I did it full TBC, just to gain more coin. And I did that and trained a whole lot of people. And everybody I trained out there, you can go and ask them if they didn't get value for that. At the end of the day, that was when the rule was changed, that you can't get up to more than 100 TBC. I lost over 2,000 coin. I didn't bother because I'm not really after that. I just want to build the community. I was excited about it. I had something to offer, and I was happy to do that with TBC. So after gaining that value, because I don't want to pay $25 in a month, you take the value away from me. Think about it. You should think about that. So
yeah, it devalues your efforts that you've done.
Valuation.
Yeah. So no, you're right. And actually, you had before the time was changed to where there's only 100 you could earn in the promotion site. So the policy of the promotion changed. But again, it shouldn't have been retroactive. If you had already earned it beforehand, then you should have still had it, because you already earned it. But I'm not aware of that scenario, but I would think that it should still be, you should still have got the full amount. But anyway, so anything else? Anyone else like to comment about this? I think this is probably one of the hardest things for TBC members to understand is where our value comes from. It's us coming together and giving of ourselves because we are of infinite value. We are relating, a portion of our value. It's saying we're adding 1 grain of gold worth to each and every TBC coin for every member that joins. So that value is based upon us. The price is attached to whatever gold price is going on. But since we cannot devalue any human being, once you devalue them, that's where we get slavery. Everyone needs to be always treated equally with one another. And you cannot remove their value just by edict. You know, you don't do this way. Doesn't matter what the contract was when you came in. This is the way it is now. No, it's not. That value is now in the wallet to be controlled by that individual member. That cannot be removed ever under any circumstance.
Devaluation is actually corruption. If you look at the financial system today, why is China fighting with the US? Because China keep devaluing their currency.
Yeah.
And now the US is trying to follow suit. And our lives have been devalued in all our lives. And now you want to we can't bring that to TBC. TBC is a new way of thinking, a new way of doing things where, people, the real value on earth is people, not gold. Without people, we don't need gold, we don't need cars, we don't need houses, we don't need your paper money. People give life to gold, to paper money, to even the projects. So when you devalue people, you introduce corruption. And when corruption is introduced, death is inevitable. Death is inevitable when you introduce corruption.
Yes, thank you, Frederick. Yeah, anyone else? Raul, are you're muted, Raul? I can unmute you if you like. There, I unmuted you. Go ahead, Raul.
Okay. Well, somewhere in the PCA, the agreement, it says that the value of the coin is attached to the life force and spiritual values of the members. And that by itself is a very, very valuable asset by itself. When you talk spiritual values, you're talking about the totality of the person as a spiritual being. And that is something that you cannot devalue. That is something that not even God can trample upon. That's why they give us freedom through free will. The life force in every human being is so valuable enough that for admin to just desecrate this, I think it's worse than coercion. It's worse than extortion. See, the first time I joined TBC, when I first learned about TBC, I was, when I finally learned about the purpose of TBC, I was very excited because it embodies the ideals, the very principles, the very philosophy I subscribed to all these years. And I thought this is one group, one venture that I must really participate. And of course, I did my best. I built my coins. I earned my coins the hard way. And for the admin to just come in and just change the whole ball game, I think it's a bullshit. That's the term that I cannot let go. It pains me to think that all these people that I brought into the TBC with all their hopes, with all their expectations, but somehow, somewhere, sometime, or at some point in time, their lives will be changed. But as it is shaping up now, it sort of destroys the entire organization, which I believe this move of admin will have a very strong negative repercussion on our actions. That's why I appreciate the contribution of every leader all over the world to rally behind what we have started, what Dan Lutz has started. Thank you.
Thank you, Raul. Thank you very much. Okay. Anything else, or we move on to the next one?
Yes, Dan.
Yes, Robert.
The billionaires are now being accused of lazy. They are saying that all the billionaires are lazy. That's not the truth because as for me, I invited, you know, that 25 to 45,000 people. But now, because of the promises of admin that didn't come true, uh, nobody believes anymore. So it's hard for me to. There's a separation between laziness and uh, the loss of trust of the people.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's hard.
well, I know, Robert. You had a lot of effort in bringing 25,000, Filipinos to TBC. So that's a tremendous amount of effort. You had a constant stream of people coming, and so to basically say that you were lazy at any time, you're still doing TBC. I'm still doing TBC. I don't do TBC. I don't do the Bitcoin bounty, and nor should I be forced to do a Bitcoin bounty system. I looked at it, I saw it, I know what it is, but I've got other things I want to do. But do I deal with TBC every day? I do. Every single day. I can't remember a day that the last time I didn't deal with TBC on a daily basis. And so I'm not lazy with TBC. And I doubt any of the leaders on here are lazy with TBC. We do have other things we have to do in our life. We're not paid salaries, to sit there and work Facebook or to do whatever is the new policy.
Yes, but new leaders now, that's what they are saying.
Yes, but why is that the only way? Why is there only one way? There's so many other ways that TBC could be, put it out into the hands of people, except one particular way, one path. So the one path is a difficult path. Requires special people, special training, and those are the only ones that can now be billionaires. Yeah. So anyway, I appreciate, but let's move on, and we'll get back to, because this is more a little bit off topic, Robert. Let's stay on these particular ones, and then we can talk in general a little bit later. Okay. So the next part is number 7, the creation of a criminal enterprise. So this is also a little bit hard to understand for people because they don't understand that once you do something that is literally against the law, extortion and theft are against the law, not just within the Kringle Society, but in your local jurisdiction, the local countries, wherever you're living. Those things are illegal. So if you're participating in those things, you're now bringing people into a situation, to a company that is doing things criminally. Now maybe the new agreement for these new people coming in is it states they have to pay monthly. All right, so they see the agreement. Okay. But the enterprise, the whole Kringle Society now has done something that is wrong. It doesn't go away. So anyway, let me read through this. How can our members approach the members they introduced Kringle Society and performed a transaction of TBC coin? If you can imagine how the buying member would feel if they traded TBC for BTC, with the rule being if you pay the lifetime wallet fee of 4 grains of gold, $10, he took advantage of any of the promotions and received the promised full TBC coin, and that buying member would be able to use that value now and into the future. Now, as the seller, you say to the buyer, since you have more than one TBC coin, you have to now pay 8 grains of gold every month or lose your coin. That buyer would say to the seller is extorting him. This action taken by the seller now makes him party to the crime. If this policy is not rescinded, then every member would not be able to promote joining the Kringle Society because members are forbidden in the Articles of Association from participating in the illegal acts. Now, as I said, this is a little bit hard for people to grasp in general because it really goes to the state of the enterprise and what they're doing. So if on one hand everything looks like it's good, it's happening as well, but if that enterprise is doing something else that is illegal and wrong, the whole enterprise is still doing it. So if you're associated with it, you get tainted. So any comments about this piece?
And I think that some of the messages that I've been receiving from TBC community, people that I know have done a lot. I mean, we can't define TBCians as merely people that do broadcasts. That's not all the definition of a TBCian. We can't define TBCians as only people that participate in the Bitcoin bounty. Those are the real TBCians. We can't limit the definition when you have 3 million people around the world. We have to have a pretty broad definition of a TBCian. I mean, I'm sure everybody would agree with that. I mean, like I've said in my videos millions of times, or many times, we embrace people of all over the plane, the world, all kinds of people with different cultures, different backgrounds. These all make up TBCians, different perspectives, different circumstances, all of these differences, but we're all unified under this concept of TBC. And because of that kind of attraction to TBC, many of us have come together. We've represented and aligned ourselves with TBC, and then we've gone about trying to attract our family and friends. And I know some people personally that have spent thousands of dollars to set up accounts for their family, their children. This has all been suggested through the blog. Sign up friends, family, sign them up, set up an account for them. This is all part of TBC. And some people have withstood a lot of criticism, a lot of scrutiny, ridicule even, to set this platform up for their future and to have a belief in it. Well, now to go back and say to those people who ridicule, criticize us and that kind of thing, and sort of mock us and say, what do you mean pay $25? That's, and then they have all the reasons. Well, they have the reasons. They call it extortion. They call it this. They call it that. How does that make TBC look? How does that make us feel? How does that define TBC when now we have this sort of and you know, and I'm not going to say that admin intended it to be extortion. I'm not going to, you know, this is not condemning admin. This is just basically a policy debate. But the fact is that, you know, a lot of people put a lot of emotions and a lot of them their themselves into promoting TBC, and you know, is it their fault that they were early on when one TBC acquisition was still possible? Is it still their fault? I mean, is it their fault that they accumulated one TBC or more at a time when TBC was young? And I mean, it's still young, but now we have to turn around and be at fault or be accused of laziness and all these kind of things. Dan, you know, criminal, I think, you know, I don't know if even criminal really encompasses what this policy might imply. You know what I mean? Yes, it's criminal based on this definition that you're giving, absolutely. But at the same time, it's just you know, it's just bad for the community. It's a bad look. I mean,
Oh, it's bad. And
it's a bad look, man.
Yeah, and every which way you look at this, it's bad.
Yes.
You know, it's and you feel horrible. I mean, and I know you have wallets for your kids, right? And you're going to force them to pay the $25 a month, right, Randy?
Yeah, and I'm going to force them to pay the $25 a month. And what do I say to people? You know, oh yeah, well, you know, you remember that coin I was telling you about? Yeah, remember the coin I made you feel so lucky about? You know, yeah, the one that, you know, you haven't paid attention to, you know, you haven't participated, you don't read the blog. Yeah, I get it. You're human. You know, you're human. You know, you don't really have an understanding of what's going on. But yeah, all of that money that you were going to gain, that value, I should say, that value that you had in your wallet that I promised you, and all that. Yeah, well, that's all. You know, I didn't want to pay the $25 for you, so sorry. That's gonna go away. That's a bad look, man. But there's got to be a better way to this option.
Yes.
Dan. So there you go.
I agree. And anything else? We'll go on. This is the last one right here that we're going to cover. Prejudice and discrimination. This is really about everyone is equal. So you cannot treat one member differently than the other. So it says, in our Kringle Society, all members are created equal. There cannot be a policy that is prejudiced or discriminates against any member or of class of member. Millionaire or billionaire must have a uniform policy. This policy targets the billionaires to pay a monthly fee, but excludes millionaires and those with a free gift of Kringles. So again, this is very common in every law of the land around the world, that you have to make it uniform for everyone. Everyone has the same rules, right? You know, you can't discriminate against one over the other. It has to be one rule for everybody. Any comments? Okay. Well,
yes, because if you begin to discriminate, you're going to introduce division, and you introduce class into the system. We don't want that in TBC. We are all equal. We are all the same. So we don't want that in TBC. What applies to one should apply to all.
Yes.
Class.
Yeah. Well, I understand, general references. My hair today is brown. Sometimes it's more brown, sometimes it's lighter brown, but it's brown. But then everyone with brown hair, is, you know, you're dividing people by color of hair. So does it really make much difference? No. So if you say someone is a millionaire or billionaire, you know, as a classification to identify them, right? But the rules have to be the same for everyone. I don't see any harm calling people millionaires or billionaires. It's just the status, how much coin they have. You know, there's some marketing potential in that, and that's fine. But you know, once you basically make different rules, that's much different. Everyone has to be treated the same. All right, Raul, you were going to add something.
Yeah, I was thinking, you know, in terms of what you just previously said, that everybody is equal. I mean, right there in that statement, you can see right there that admin has transgressed the association agreement. Well, that by itself is already illegal if we talk about law or legality.
Yes. Yeah.
It is also an agreement that nobody is above or over and above anybody. I think it's in the first paragraph of the agreement.
Well, also, you know,
No one is over.
yeah, not even
above.
admin. Admin is not also over. Everyone is the same. Is the same within this. They're all treated equally. All right. So, yeah.
I've noticed that see, I was a newcomer to compared to the rest of you guys, but I have noticed that every time we have a St. Pauline meeting, it appears that everybody was like very coy or very, I would say, afraid to even talk or question the admin about certain policies that he has been laying before. I noticed that everybody was so timid to even, you know, complain. So right there, I noticed that some kind of an autocratic kind of management or administration of TBC was in place. And I wasn't very fond of that kind of or type of management because I have run businesses myself. And I know for experience that that kind of management is not going to work over the long term. It's always participative management that was my norm. So when finally admin issued this kind of edict or blog, I was really, you know, I was so dismayed. And I guess we have to really move to really make a change out of the situation right now. If only to protect our people. I owe it a lot to my people, how I brought into TBC the hard way. And the $25 as a monthly fee may not be too much for me to take care of personally. But you know, the people I brought in, not all of them can afford that. And not all of them can perform that. So what's going to happen? If one of my leaders or one of my members will be able to pay the $25 a month, then, you know, what's going to happen?
Right.
That's why we need this action is really a must.
Yeah. Well, I'm in agreement with that. You know, I see that, you know, one of the things that I've already had many conversations with people that have been contacting me, right? That I did transactions with. And some say, well, you pay the $25 fee for me. You know, I sold them the coin, right? So
Right.
it's my responsibility. How does that become my responsibility now? Well, how did that happen? You know. So this is over every which way you look at it. It's a very bad look. I like what Randy said. It's a bad look.
Well, Dan, you know, too, you know, that whole idea of, responsibility. That says quite a lot. We all do. I think that's why we're all here right now, is because we feel a tremendous amount of responsibility
Tremendous.
for TBC. I mean, that's why we're here. We're expressing our concern because we have a huge responsibility for the work that we've done, the people that we've influenced, and the coin that we have influenced into the world. And it just so happens that a lot of us had been very active during the time that TBC was, you could acquire one full TBC or more, and now we're still responsible, and so, I mean, do you think that people today who receive less than one TBC, that have less than one TBC, do you think that every single one of them are active with TBC?
Right.
The fact is that it's actually pretty scarce,
Right.
compared to the
Well,
I'm sorry.
I was just saying that it's part of what we would tell people, right? You could just hodl it, right? Just join us, sit back, and if you don't want to recruit, you don't want to bring in members, that's okay. Take advantage of the promotion. Get one full TBC coin, get 2, get 5, right? And then sit back and wait for us to build up the membership to make it easier for you to use your coin, and then you can use it in the future.
And it's not those people's faults that we have the diabolicals out there. There's a lot of diabolicals out there. I mean, let's face it, an admin has done a lot to try to rid the community of the diabolicals.
Yeah.
People that have nefarious intentions to destroy the community. I mean, we've all seen it. I think the three of us, at least, as far as maybe Belinda too, I know some of us have been around for a while. So we've seen all of the attacks against TBC, which we've all stood by and defended TBC alongside admin and all the policies to help rid us of the diabolicals. But to throw this blanket statement out there and say anybody with one TBC, your days are numbered. It's like what? Your days are numbered. You are, and it's sort of to place this blame and attack to those of us that, some of us are pretty wealthy in TBC. We're very wealthy.
I'm a trillionaire.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're a diabolical, Dan.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be extorted. I refuse to pay. I'm not.
Well, how many people have called you? Like you said, how many people have called you up now and said, "Pay my fee for me"?
Well,
that's the same thing here, man. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to pay anybody's fee. It's just not, I'm not going to pay my own fee. Well, what do you mean pay your fee?
Right.
So not under this sort of, not under this premise.
Right.
Anyways. So,
right.
Yeah, I just thought I'd share those kind of thoughts there, Dan.
Well, thank you. Well, I think we can open it up. I'm not going to go through the rest of this document. I'm going to slide through it just to show people what's there. We'll cover this tomorrow, the references and articles of association. So this is basically going through, say, the mission statement and the articles of association, and what section it is, right? So like this one, for example, mission statement, page 1, paragraph 1, Kringle Society Global Initiative. Is a sharing an emulsionary, I forgot how to say that word. I learned it once. Society founded upon the principle that humanity is capable of lifting itself out of the morass of poverty, disease, lack, limitation, suffering, and ignorance into a new dawn of abundance and prosperity for all. So how can we help our members lift themselves up if we take the value from the members? So that's why I just go through each of the ones that seems to apply to what the situation is, and I list it here. And so we're on page 3, and it goes on. We've got 7 pages of this, and so we can cover this tomorrow. But I think we should really have a discussion and bring. We've got 21 other participants that we can bring them on also to have their say in what's going on here. But we'll cover the rest of this part tomorrow. There we go. Almost done. There we go. End. Okay, let's stop the sharing here. Okay. So before we bring everyone else on, we've got 14 people waiting there. So is there anything else we should anyone want to say before we bring everyone else on?
I think we've covered a lot here, Dan.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Admitting all.
Dan, Alan Morty.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Yes, Robert.
Yeah, when I first joined TBC, I watched the video which says that buy and hold TBC and all of your dreams will come true.
It didn't say buy and hold and pay a monthly fee?
No,
Oh, okay. Just checking.
they did not say that to pay.
Okay. All right. So anything else before I let in the floodgates? All right. Here we go. Admit all. Okay, everyone. I see Scott is there. Hi, Scott Thorne. So you will have to unmute yourself. If you came into this without accepting the audio in a Zoom room, you have to say, use device audio. You won't be able to be heard. You'd have to actually leave and come back in if you can't find the setting inside the app. But if anyone would like to say anything, just go ahead and we could just try unmuting yourself, and you can talk.
Hello, Daniel.
Hello.
Yeah, it's Jefferson speaking. Good afternoon, Daniel.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I want to use this opportunity to commend your work on the Kringle Society. It's very much commendable. And obviously, people are already earlier doctors before we joined. Like myself, I just joined in like 2007. And prior to that, I've been hearing observing that there was a complaint as regards to the promise from admin that there will be the first 100,000 testers to establish the exchange of the time. But unfortunately, that didn't work out, and TBC was on hold for close to 6 months. Well, that one came up and left, and the TBC came in full stream like 2018, at least, where everything came up and admin said it became $10. I believe we have already discussed all these things. But my major concern is we actually need to see a roadmap. We need to know where we are going. And it's not just enough to tell people to pay so and so amount of money. Obviously, we are 3 million people, and we have to meet up to 1 billion. So what is it there that we're going to use to show to other people to come into the society? Yes, there's a public notice, and I want to say that you guys have done a very good job in terms of how will I put it, bringing up public notice and bringing up the authenticity of the legality of the currency, which is a very good one. I commend admin, and I equally commend everyone in the community that have done so well to bring it up to what it is today. It's a big concern, and this is not about money. Everybody, I could afford to pay, But what about the other people? And you know, no offense, but I feel, like you said, a council needs to be made because something of this abnormality has to be in a very big, massive scale, and a council is no longer a one-man affair anymore. Yeah, I just feel that we need to, because again, that even reminds me. That even reminds me. I just remembered. I just remembered now that on the front page of the Kringle.cash, there is I don't know how to put it, but there is an information as regarding the interface of more or less how I put it, the interface of the payment system as in terms of PayPal, Mastercard, PayPal system, Mastercard, and all, which will be displayed on the front page of the Kringle.cash website. Admin needs to tell us why is it being displayed? Why is it there if it is a peer-to-peer currency? What is it for us? How is it going to help us in the future? So that at the end of the day, we do not end up being a laughing stock. I believe we have gone a long way. Because these are the information that will help people to really believe more in the community and have a full influx. Because so much needs to be done. And finally, before I leave, I believe that we need to make more emphasis as regards of the currency than actual Bitcoin bounty. I've noticed one thing, that since the time Bitcoin bounty began, it began to be more of it's becoming to be more of a nuisance to our mission than the actual mission itself. But when people concentrate more on the Bitcoin bounty than the actual gift, it defeats the purpose. I can guarantee there are people who are not even recruiting but are doing more work to grow the community because they're actually making more emphasis on how to use the currency than wasting more time on the Bitcoin bounty. If peradventure there's no money, I believe we shouldn't be doing any of those things. But rather, we should spend more energy. We should spend more energy on how all those monies or fees that I want to use to pay for maybe our own blockchain or whatever. I think energy should be channeled to that now. If we're actually looking for money to do things of that magnitude. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, there's many things we can do to improve TBC. We have a lot of very creative people, and we can make an environment that is conducive to allowing our creativity to allow us to help move us forward. So I do appreciate that. Anyone else would like to say something? I heard something. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Hello.
Oh, hi.
I want to say something, please.
Yes, go ahead.
Good evening.
Just say your name.
Thank you so much. Okay. My name is Tajuddin Omar from Egypt.
Go ahead.
Are you with me now, please?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate your effort for bringing out this issue at this very critical period. Seriously, all the TBC members, or let me say majority of TBC members, are not happy with this new policy admin just bring to the community. According to the last update that admin posted on the blog, he made mentions of the reasons why he is bringing this new policy, which are the first one, he complained about the TBC discounters, that the people are discounting the coin, they don't give it the value it deserves. Yes, we know, we all know this. We see the advert on Facebook, likewise on WhatsApp and so many groups and social media platforms. But as a result, to me, that shouldn't be a reason why you want to punish a bad egg, and at the same time you are punishing the whole community. Because to me, this is a punishment to the whole community. Yes, I joined TBC right from November 2016, to be precise. So, and if you see that time, TBC has no value at all. And that time, there was nothing like buying $100 or getting a TBC for buying $100. And there was nothing like paying admin fee or wallet fee. Now, admin fee started when admin introduced Tester, that he want to give us some leaders a MasterCard to be withdrawing at least a certain amount in a month. That was the starting of the admin fee. And he said, it is not compulsory on all TBC members that time, but it is only a criteria for those who want to be a tester. Only those who want to be a tester will pay $10 to join to be able to qualify to be a tester. Now, we, the early adopters of TBC, so many of us, we paid that money. Those of us who believe in admin, we paid the money. We started, the next thing is we have the website to keep the testers and then give us some tax. The tax we all know was to find 100 referrals, moving in people into TBC to make them at least accept the free gift, even if they don't have money to buy. Because that time there was nothing like paying admin fee before you can join. So we do all that. Many people, at that time I could remember, TBC was just 500,000 members before we started this testers program. Then within just 2 months, we move on, we just grow to 2 million plus within just 2 months. So we worked a lot, sleepless of night, and many people, some people going to work, you'll be late because at times you work at night just to be able to show that you get your 100 referrals complete within the stipulated time. Myself, it affects me at my working place because by the time I return home, I have to work as well, chatting online, calling people just to make sure I get my 100 referrals, which I did. The biggest reward admin gives to us was the 10 TBC to each members that has bring in the 100 referrals needed. I recruit 200 members that time from Egypt here. I'm calling from Egypt now. So I recruit 200 members. I helped my wife also in her own account to recruit 150 members. So we all gain a reward, which is I received 20 TBC from admin, plus the first time I invested in TBC, I invested $1,000. Though I bought it from a guy who doesn't know the value, that was November 2016. I bought 1,000 TBC from him at the rate of $1 per TBC, which is $1,000. That time, one TBC was $500. Yes. So, admin is now telling me if I did not pay this $25 now a month, he will remove my send button or I send back all that money. What about the money that I invested? What about the stress of that 100 referrals that I've contributed? That's the first thing. Yes, we all know we have discounters in TBC. Yes. But there's a way of punishing them. To my own understanding, if that is among the reasons for this $25, you have the database at your end. You have the details. You see the transactions per day from each wallet. Why don't you cancel their wallet completely if anybody discounts? If truly it's because of the discount. And don't forget, the aim of admin to launch this coin is to help the poor. In Nigeria, the minimum wage for Nigeria from Nigeria government is 18,000 naira. Into dollar, that's $55 per month. $55 minimum wage. Now in Egypt here, our minimum wage here in Egypt is exactly $50. Are you telling me now many Egyptians that are introduced to this coin, they are able to contribute some money to buy $100 to get one TBC? Now I'll go to them to tell them, look, as of September next month, you are going to be paying $25 from your salary every month to admin. Does that make sense?
No.
Since admin introduced this, I've had a lot of headache because I don't know how to tell my people. I just don't know. Even myself, what am I making from the coin? We have thousands of people who have one TBC who never make a single transaction from the day they joined TBC, hoping to see a day when TBC is liquid, then they've started making their money. Is this kind of punishment you want to put on them? That is one thing. Second thing, if it is because of admin want to build a new website that is going to be the final website for TBC community to be able to accommodate the billion members we need. And of course, we know that's going to cost a lot of money for him to do that, to have a standard blockchain, because we know the one we are using now is not a standard Bitcoin blockchain. If that is the reason, also, to admin calculation, like the last blog we see, he said we have 200,000 members who have more than one TBC in their account. Okay, if it is because of the website, why don't you make it, if you make it a compulsory upon every member to pay that $25 once in order to help you build that site? If 200 members pay this minimum of people that are making their token there, and that's the practice place. Okay, if 200,000 members pay $25 each, that is $5 million. What kind of website admin want to buy for the community? That is not enough. And if that is not enough, what about the other members that will pay? Honestly speaking, we have to state the truth. Since Mr. Abundance entered TBC, admin believe it is only him and those who are working for the TBC bounties, Bitcoin bounties, that are the one building the community. If admin is confused that they are the one building the community, okay, let's all members, all leaders worldwide relax and see a few of them to see how they will be able to do that. Mr. Abundance has bring a lot of issues, a lot of problems. We know, yes, he's working toward the growth of TBC, but I have a problem with him, and members too. It's not the only one. You cannot just admin say one thing at the club. He made jest of old adopters, the early adopters of TBC. He said, this complaint about $55, no new members complain. I said, I read the post. I said, and again, to complete that, he said, if you don't like anything, you don't need to complain. You just look at it and you move on. I said, what? Really? That's great. After we have wasted our time, after I have invested my money, then I'll just look at it and walk away like that? Is that how you want to help the poor? Now I said, admin, don't forget, before Mr. Abundance joined the TBC, we were 500,000 members before you introduced this. We never questioned you about the massacre. Yes, we never questioned you about that. Now you later make the admin fee compulsory, you turn it to $22, later now $25, now compulsory upon all members. To be frankly speaking, admin just have to reconsider this issue and turn back. And again, the worst part, it brings the wallet for us to resend our TBC. That is the way of helping the poor, really. This is an autocracy. If in a government, you don't have to seek you said this is a community that agreed upon a common goal. We agreed upon this. Our initial agreement, you will just change it within yourself without contacting the leaders or the communities that you said you are ruling. No, this is not done. Please, it's causing headache to every member who like to say the truth. Those who are saying admin is doing right, because they are saying that just to gain the admin's comment. That's just it. No one in TBC community, even if you are making that money, no one will be happy to be given that $25 every month. When will it end? No one knows. We start from September. No one knows when it will end. So please, Dan Lutz, we will really appreciate this, your courage to bring upon this meeting. And seriously, if you can help us plead to TBC admin, all is not well in TBC at all with this new policy. You need to retreat. You need to change this. This is my contribution, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your help.
Hello, Dan.
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Godson.
Yes, Godson.
I'm calling from Nigeria. Sincerely speaking, I have not been very happy with the admin's decision. One, I have been thinking about the issue of the blockchain. I remember sometime in 2017, before the admin. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Before the admin requested that we should pay $10 for wallet fee, it was stated there that the $10 was meant to help him build a permanent website, a permanent blockchain, that will be devoid of any third party. You promoted that to us, especially during the time Latifa and the other trolls were troubling the admin. Most of us supported the admin in fighting the battle of that time. I remember at the time when they were accusing admin of maybe extorting money. He had to publish the expenditure, especially when he had an issue with TBC police. He had to publish the income and the disbursement, how he spent the money within that time. I want you to help me ask admin, can he give us the financial cost of the roadmap of TBC? We need a financial cost, a budget that we can be looking at so that we will see, okay, this is the amount that admin want to spend within this time and this time to make sure that everything about the blockchain, everything about keeping TBC working is achieved. Can he give us such a proposal? Most cryptocurrencies that have ever applications, they give time frame. These are the things they are looking for. Can a TBC admin give us a budget? Can he give us a budget with a timeline? Then on our own, let us as a part of the society decide how we can help admin to achieve that. He shouldn't come and be telling us to be paying $25 today. January next year, he can wake up and say it's $50. Next month, he may wake up and say it's $100. Is that how we are going to live in TBC? Where people have invested money, they have not gained anything. Most of us put our name, we staked our name, our integrity, our personality in promoting TBC. What is he saying now? That people that we bought, who we sold TBC to, some of them are military officers that can come and arrest you when their send button is put off by admin. Admin will be there enjoying the dollars we are sending to him, and someone will be languishing in jail for promoting a coin that he felt was to alleviate poverty in this generation. So I think he really needs a rethink. If I don't know how much it costs to build a blockchain, but I don't see a blockchain that admin will be building with almost maybe $200 million. What kind of blockchain will be that?
Yeah, so
do you know how much you'll be making if everybody is to pay this? That is my own. Then secondly, I have another opinion.
Godson, you can continue, but just let me make one comment about what you said. I know that that admin had written that it's the goal is to make a new blockchain so that there would now be extra zeros at the end, so that you can make smaller amounts of Kringles. All right, so that you could pay for micro payments of things. So, I do not think that is something that is so necessary at this time. People are not paying for cups of coffee for $3 in value cup of coffee, and they have an $8 Kringle or $10 Kringle at this time. If it means that this is your focus is to get this much money in so that you can build this, it's not necessary. We have a working blockchain. We have a working coin. It works fast. What is the purpose in trying to basically create this new blockchain at this time? Maybe 3 years from now, it makes it a big issue. But right now, it's not an issue. That's the way I see it.
Okay.
That's the way I see it.
Then, secondly, okay, maybe this would have even answered the issue, because I wanted to opine that the Bitcoin charges transaction fees. If admin want to make some money, additional money, he can add transaction fees for people that are doing transaction now with their TBC.
Yeah, well,
he can put up a transaction fee in Bitcoin of a minimal amount that could be accruing to him as people do transactions. That could be okay for him. Alternatively, if there is a major project that the TBC community need to go into, if there is a major project
Gotcha. Let me just make
$25.
Let me make a comment about the transaction fees, and that's an interesting idea. To put a fee in Bitcoin for a TBC transaction. It's a reasonable.
Yeah,
it's reasonable.
Because why I'm saying opting for Bitcoin, because he said that people that are working with him in the TBC blockchain don't collect TBC as payment. They are not collecting TBC yet. They are collecting Bitcoin. So he can add an additional, maybe a little transaction fee of maybe 20 cents, 30 cents per transaction, depending on the volume, so that will accrue some money to him to continue to fund whatever project he has.
Well, let me finish my point. Was we get into the same situation of an agreement that was already made, lifetime wallet fee, no transaction fees. So once it could only be for future people that would occur for. So, but since most of the people coming in, they wouldn't be able to carry it. I don't think there's enough there. But I do understand that's an issue, and it's a good thought. But I don't know how practical it is. But I do think it's a good idea. We just have to work out logistics of that and how. But it would have to be the people that are in the newer people coming in with they'd have to. That would be the new agreement, right? Where people already paid a lifetime wallet fee. Again, you can't go and make things retroactive and put it on top of them, because if they've already paid, right? It's done. That contract is complete. So, but
then please, on a very serious note, let the admin itemize the things he needs as a budget. Let him tell us, these are the things I am spending on. This is the amount it costs me. If he does that, if the community sees that there is need for him to get additional fund, we can devise some other means. Instead of giving this, we can add a little more amount of money, maybe a particular month, channel towards that project to ease tension on him and to help the work to move. But for him to say he's blocking accounts of people, he shouldn't try. If he tries that, he's killing people instead of giving life. A lot of people are going to spend their life in jail, and it will not be good.
Yeah. No, I agree with you there. That's not good, But I would say these ideas and things, what we have to do is, because we haven't had a voice. The Privy Council is to come up and help create this the scenario for how we rule the
But sorry to cut you. The tone I saw in the blog yesterday of the admin, he doesn't look like someone that is ready to have any privy counsel. He doesn't even look like to me as someone that is ready to entertain advice from anyone.
Well, look at the background.
In the blog there, he was calling some of the, maybe some of you people became trolls to him because of opposition to his ideology. I don't like that.
Well, I get it. You know, the sign is red, right? So it's fire. You know, big announcement. You know, the poster. If a send button is turned off for a TBC billionaire, it is permanent from this day forward. So it's pretty ominous, right? You know. That's why, you know, it's this threat of extortion that is so disheartening, you know, for, you know, and the tone of these blogs is very, you know, upsetting. Well, it's because everyone's upset with him, right? So everyone's upset. You know, I ran a poll in my chat group, my Telegram chat group. And it's 95% against admin in regards to taking the coin or not. Yeah. So who else is making?
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Who's speaking?
Yeah, it's Jefferson. Sorry, from Nigeria. I'm back again. I just remember there's one more thing there's one concern I want to raise. You know, looking at the statistics, it's not as if I want to be boasting here. I'm from Nigeria. I'm not saying Nigerians are the only ones doing the work, but by the grace of God, we have contributed immensely to the population growth of TBC. But I'm going to raise a very big concern here. The concern is, you know, on 3 or 4 occasions, yes, Nigeria may have issues in terms of reputation, some of our people spoiling our integrity in terms of committing crimes. And unfortunately, not everybody is a criminal. In all countries, everybody is not a criminal. But a situation whereby the admin on 2 or 3 occasions will use our country for mockery in terms of saying, oh, helpless billionaire, one, or we are discounter, or we are criminals in terms of managing video coin. I think it's a very wrong thing to do on this part. Yes, it's working based on observation. But I've raised out our concern about payments. And in addition to, in various groups, I've observed, especially from Mr. Abundance, that he was trying to make a mockery of our country. Instead of telling us that, oh, we are the only ones complaining about this thing. And of which, obviously, it is so obvious from this discussion, from general consensus, that everybody is not entirely happy with this issue of it. You know? Now, I want to equally, that's my first concern. My second concern has to do with the future of this wallet. I believe in the cryptocurrency space, we have online wallet and offline wallet. I think I've raised this question before, that we need to have an offline wallet. I know this will be part of the future plan, but I don't want to drop the horse before the cart. I think that's one of the things. So these are just my basic concerns. So I'm going back to the issue of Nigeria that I think we all need to respect each other's country. For instance, I cannot just come and say, oh, American people are crazy, or people in Britain don't have reasoning faculty. I believe that would be wrong of me to do that. Now, even looking at the statistics of people contributing to the community, I believe other countries need to put in their own bid. I know, even though I know there's a challenge, but not a situation whereby I do not know what they are trying to achieve. They will just stay by the corner because at the end of the day, I recommend that our people did our best to ensure that this community grows by adding on to the populace. But that is another thing. That is a discussion for another day. I believe, like you said, we need to have self-respect and love for one another. I'm not saying that one should be disrespectful with what is given to us or what we thought, or discounting or doing scams. Scamming and all those things are not good. No offense, but they should not use that general consensus to label a country. I believe we should try and refrain from that. That is my own part. Thank you.
Thank you.
In addition,
Yes.
in addition
Go ahead.
to that, Dan, I have to even hello.
Yes, I hear you.
Hello? Yeah, I was about to ask, why did admin
Hello.
Hello, Dan Lutz. Maybe his network has cut him off. Please, I just want to make comment about the last speaker now. You see, please let TBC admin know and Mr. Abundance, let them know. In TBC community, Nigeria has the great population in TBC communities. Let them check the chart to see that we have more than 1.5 out of the 3.3 million members. We have more than half of it. So in that case, it is possible, yes, to be having some discounters from there. So that doesn't mean you have to generalize the sin of a few people among all the members. No, you should just have a way of punishing them, and whoever do something wrong, punish the person and let's go ahead. I am in Mr. Abundance group. He always forwards some kind chats between him and Nigerians who are saying, yes, it's only Nigerians that are discounting TBC. I'll tell you one name. There was a guy in Facebook. His name is Jason. This guy is from Philippines. He is the highest TBC discounter ever, right from the launch of TBC up to date. The guy, even from the time of TBC police, the guy will go into TBC police Facebook or the group, Telegram group, and said, please permit me to post. He will post his wallet and all the details, how he sells his TBC, and nobody complain about that. And from there, we never generalize that all Philippines are the ones spoiling TBC community. No. Please, this is a very, very vital point that admin has to take note of. Please, it's painful. Thank you so much.
hello, Dan?
Yes.
On the issue of discounting, I want to even find out, does it mean that admin don't know the wallets of these people? Because it's really ridiculous when you see somebody posting TBC for sale, 100 TBC for $100. I mean, up till now, some people are still asking people to come and buy TBC at that stage. And I discovered that most of these people are people that have given up on TBC. They have concluded that the thing is not going to work, that admin is a scammer, he's scamming them, and they are no more interested in promoting. Of course, one of the reasons why people will not promote TBC, especially in Nigeria today, is because the ones we did, the promotions we did, is already turning to become a problem to us right now. How will admin ask me to go and promote TBC that I promoted some years ago? He asked us to bring in children. He asked us to bring in the aged ones. And we brought in all these people. Where will these people get the money to come and be paying admin fee per month? People that are in poverty, people that they find it difficult to even sell things and survive. You brought TBC to them as hope. And now you are asking them to begin to pay. And I see some TBCians who will be supporting admin, saying, what is there? We just say, well, after all, it's just $25. If $25 for all my children that admin asked me to bring into TBC, how will I do it on monthly basis? That is the issue.
Well, I think the whole.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think the whole point is, there's one way to do things, and that one way only fits for a certain group of people. And so there has to be multiple ways in order for us to, promote TBC. Just doing it one way means only those certain people that can do that one way, that are successful at doing it that way, will be driving this. So it's very difficult for us to achieve a very big uplift of membership if there's only those few people out there. And to then go ahead and punish the ones that are not going to do that because they're not full-time doing this one job. It's ridiculous. It's not. It hasn't been that way from the beginning, and it can never work. Those type of systems never work when you try to make only people do things one way. It's never ever going to work. Unless you're going to pay people to do those jobs for you. Right? So, you can hire people and you hunt for those people and you give them the job to do. That's a business. This is not a business. People can make a business creatively from TBC, but this is a community. This is a society. We have goals that we all share. But how to achieve the process of getting our membership up? It has to be something that's going to drive us there faster. This system is not going to be driving us there faster. I did the Bitcoin bounty for a day. Said, okay, I got it. I understand it. I'm not going to build it. I don't want to do it. Many people don't want to do it. But does that mean that that now I must be punished now? What if the new system that's 6 months from now, if there is 6 months from now, I don't want to do that one, and I did this one? Then I get punished then.
Okay, Mr. Dan.
Yes.
May I ask?
Sure.
As a community, the fear of admin or the challenge of admin that the community is not growing, and that is why he's bringing up this policy to help the community to grow.
Well,
now that the policy looks absurd and we are kicking against it, what other palliative measure?
Well, I think that's why we need
to help realize the admin's objective and goal.
Yeah, you're cutting out, but I get what you're saying. I think that's why we need to have the Privy Council now start talking in a way to come up with a system, that can work and works for more than just a very few people. So
Good.
And decide how the technology is to be developed and decide how these things. This has to be done jointly, not just from what admin wants.
One person.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the overseer means to oversee. It's like to take
the activities of the group.
It's like when you have a governance in a government, you have like the Senate and you have the House of Representatives and you have a president. There's a checks and balances. So we right now it's only one only admin, and it looks like he's tired because he's very upset that nobody wants to do this, and he's lashing out. The way I feel like I'm being punished, right? Even though it's like what did I do? I work on TBC every day. But I won't be extorted. I refuse. To take trillions of dollars from me in TBC. I won't pay. It's ridiculous. But I will fight for what is right.
Sure.
So anyway, that's why we are here. Now we've been going for
Then
two and a half.
can admin allow those that have multiple wallets to merge them?
Say again.
Can admin allow people with multiple wallets to merge them? Because I don't think the number we are seeing in TBC, that number is not real. It's not realistic. Some individuals have up to 5, 6, 7 wallets.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I don't think that's such a big problem. It's the same like in Bitcoin, right? You know, there's 40 million wallets in Bitcoin, and there's there's 18 million Bitcoin users, right? But it doesn't matter.
Wow.
You know, it's okay. You know, if you have 3, I have more than one wallet. You know, I wouldn't want to keep so much in one wallet. You know, I keep one wallet. I keep one wallet where I just was taking the promotion stuff that I was getting and keeping it only in one wallet. And that one I think has 70 TBC in it. You know, just from the promotions. You know, but
Hello, Mr. Dan.
yes.
Please, concerning the discount, I'm still on that point. If we look at it critically, admin, TBC admin is the one causing the discounts to be happening. He is the first TBC discounter. How? He said in the Kringle Cash account, you are allowed to redeem 100 TBC in your lifetime, 100 TBC. Tell me, to get that 100 TBC, you will buy $100, get 1 TBC.
So
That means $100 multiplied by 100. That's $10,000, right?
Yeah, no, I understand your. I understand.
Who will
your
have
point.
that amount? Now, when I realize I can, most especially now, the wallet fee is free.
Yeah.
Okay, the new members can join. I can
Okay.
create many accounts, multiple
I
accounts.
have an answer for you.
Okay.
I hear this argument many times. So
Okay.
the point is that it's not discounting if it's part of a promotion, and this is why. You are doing the effort. You are doing the effort to bring members, right? If you bring 100 members, right? And each of those members, for your efforts, is adding 1 grain of gold for every single TBC coin that's out there. How much value is that? So you're actually getting underpaid.
I understand what you're saying,
Okay.
but at the same time,
I
if
give you the
bring 100,
opposite. I'm just.
going to give 10 TBC as a payment
Yeah.
for that a job well done, right?
Yeah.
10 TBC. And a TBC now costs $10 million plus.
Yes. Yeah.
So multiply by 10.
Yeah. You got $100
So
million. Yes.
We are talking about 100 TBC. That's a huge amount. That is the reason why we have the discounters have multiple wallets. They will be selling the wallets, not transferring again.
Yes,
That's
I know.
where the profit comes from.
Yeah. So
If admins
you
want
know.
the coin to have value, a valuable currency will not give out that huge amount of money. Yes, you give it value.
Yes.
Why don't you make it limited to that 10?
Yeah.
For every effort, that 10 is enough. If you really want to help. Now I can just wake up a day and I'll register a wallet, send money to it. I have 100 TBC.
Okay.
If I don't, a transaction from my own, I can sell out that 100. I can sell it at the rate of $100 as I
No,
like.
I get it. I get it. But I think that we can come up with solutions. But I think this is not really the time to talk about how we're going to create this. The point of this conversation is to really talk about where we're at with this new policy and how and what does it mean, right? And then we need to go ahead and change it. We have plenty of time to now look at how do we make discounting ineffective. You know, there's other ways to look at it, how to treat this. But I don't fault the concept of giving promotions, and you earn TBC. I think it's because you are worth it. You're doing the work, so that value is based upon you doing your effort. So I don't think you're overpaid to get the 100 million. Right? You're worth it.
Mr. Dan, you know, the reason why admin said the $25 fee should be paid every month, he made mention of discounting, as the first reason. So, if we should talk about discounting, then this is the root of discount. That's what I'm saying. I know to be paid for the work you do, yes, that is sure. It's a great idea. But this is too much. You are not giving value to it. Yes, we have to be frankly speaking. It is too much. 100 TBC.
Yeah.
So I create five emails now within a few minutes. I fill it. I have 500 TBC for free. So how do you expect me to have a real value for such coin? Yeah. It's not done. How do you imagine now Bitcoin started today and said, okay, we want all the whole world to know about Bitcoin. And okay, from now, if you recruit 1,000 members, I will give you 1 TBC, just one Bitcoin, for example. What do you expect? Just 1,000 members, you'll be given just 1 Bitcoin. What do you expect within 2 days? So that is the root of discount, Mr. Dan. It needs to look into as well. Yeah. We all want well for this project, and we want to see it prosper. That's why we are talking now.
Yes, but there's
happy with it, and they cannot say their mind. They are not working towards the growth of TBC. They are not helping admin, but he didn't know.
Yes, but the thing is that I get it. There's discounting, right, and that is an issue. I think that even though it's one of the issues that he's looking at solving there, I think there's other ways to look at it. How you can deal with discounting that you don't have to centralize the wallet, that you don't have to penalize people. There's other ways to look at it, right? But that can be worked out in making some plans for the future. So anyway, I'd like to say I want to take some last questions, but we should start wrapping it up because we're going to be hitting 3 hours now. But we will come back tomorrow at the same time and do this again. That will cover more detail.
Thank you so much.
Any last comments? I got 3 hands raised, or maybe 2. Metallic. Metallistic. Okay. Go for it.
Thank you, Lutz.
Yes.
I want to be the house. I'm very, very happy for this opportunity given to us to air our mind. Reason because we find serious value on the billion coin, and that's why we have been following it up right from the very year it was created. I come in, which is 2016, and we discover we Nigerians here have value for it so much because that's why we have been recruiting. And even before the issue on board, Nigerians have done their best at least to push this work very seriously. Because look at the world today, we find out we are a bit bigger than every other ethnic of the world. So we will not be happy to see that anything happens to it because we are looking at it as one of the lives that the world or God can give to us through the admin. So we are doing all our possible best to see that we push the work off. Another one is what is on ground. Seriously, the discounting is not something good that anyone can support. People like us don't do that, a thing like that. And I'm believing God that me will find a way to help the community. Seriously, because so many persons' faith can actually drop. Some people can die because so many have put their life on it, believing that at least one day it will work out. So I want to employ you, sir. At least you were a bit closer to the admin than us. Let him also see reasons because of what you are professed, life you are professed to offer to the people. He should also look.
It looks like we lost you. Hello? Okay, there's also MDS TBC office raised their hand. You can unmute yourself if you want to make a comment.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Lutz.
Yes.
It has been a while now. So, what I just want to say is I've already said it before. The only way of blocking discounting, though that is selling TBC in discount, I believe the only way to succeed in that easily is by building the system that the transaction can the system can allow. It can come up with that kind of system that system will be automatically block any transaction that above without permission from its end, so that the system will block it automatically. When that is done, I'm telling you, admin himself will have rest of mind on this issue of discounting. But without that, by warning and warning, it will continue warning and warning, because why? Some people will not listen. So that is it. So the only way to do that is that the system must be there automatically. So if it is that person even make attempt to do that, the system will bounce it back, maybe to his wallet straight away. Then at that time, you will not see that kind of a person trying to do so again, because it's not that anytime you make attempt to do so, then it's going to bounce back. It won't go. So that is the only way out to block the discounting there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So who's next? Joseph?
Yeah, I can speak a little bit.
Hi, Joseph. Haven't heard from you for a while. How are you?
I'm doing very well then. Yeah.
So
I'm, yeah. What can I say? Well, it is, I'm investigating into the construction of new system, new society, so I'm investigating also into your field with the alternative money and so on. My issue perhaps is another, that there has been very aggressive and abusive control over the art on a new creation phenomena. There was always a control, including new money, of course. So when I'm looking at my own field, which is controlled by different big companies, such as art price, I price all the prices for works that have been sold in the auctions in the market, and that's how they establish their price, by sales. The sales, dictate the price, like in your case, is the same. And I know that it is a new world. I mean, there's no way for us to depend what was used before. It's the new society that needs means of a new society that also needs new means of acquiring quality in many ways, including in art and technology. We need it. So I think maybe there is a reason for alternative money or any money at all if there's something that you really want to do, that you really want to invest, not just for gain, that you really need. You need to travel to meet somebody, like it is my case, or you need to purchase replicators, or you need to purchase things that that you are really hot on purchasing, that you really want to. So then if you had this stuff sold in your means of, with your means of production, then there is good reason for it to grow. So it's not so much the troubles that being caused, maybe there is troubles with admins or whatever, but the question is, where is it flowing? It's like the river needs to know there is a sea of abundance there, that we need the money to acquire all those things that we want. So what do you want? So it's the main question, because then when you know what you want, then you have the drive to go there. So this was my point. And I can talk about it more if you allow me next time. I will talk about it more.
Okay. Well, thank you, Joseph. Yeah. So, we'll be back again tomorrow. So, any more? There's also Gel, Tubam, Brian. Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Or okay,
Yes,
either
sir.
one.
This is the first time I joined this webinar, so maybe next time I will. So I just want to ask why I cannot open anymore my Kringle Cash in my desktop, my TBC wallet. Am I blocked or what?
Maybe.
But still, I can open in the application, in the app.
Yeah. There is no app. But
Yes,
no official app. But anyway, I don't know where, this is not really the place to ask the questions like this, because we're not doing technical support. We're really talking about the issue of these fees. So
anyway. Okay. Anyway, what time you start? You will start tomorrow, so I can be at the time.
same as today, which is about 3 hours ago.
Because I entered today at 11 p.m. at Hong Kong time, but
Yeah,
nobody.
it was a mistake. It was supposed to be 10. Sorry. Somehow that number got transposed. Sorry about that. But but it is,
where can I raise my questions about my Kringle Cash to open it?
well, that would be using the help desk in the Kringle Cash.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay. Brian, you wanted to say something?
Hi, Dan. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, I'm guilty. When I first got into TBC, I was telling everybody I knew about TBC. And I had a real hard time promoting it here in the United States. But I had a few people get involved. But my issue is, I've got 2 sons and my dad, people that I went out and personally spent $100 so they could get one TBC through their promotion and everything, and I can't get them to see the vision. They're not going to pay $25. I said I'm not going to sit here and pay $125 for every single one of them that I personally spent the money for them to have a TBC to set them up, whether they saw the vision or not. But so. I mean, if it was just me, okay, well, I even set up my wife and got her 10 TBC and her wallet. So I'd have to pay 25 for me, 25 for her, like I said, 25 for my 2 sons and my dad. And I've got 2 friends that didn't see the vision, but they just followed me and said, okay, and they spent $800 and got 4 for him and 4 for his wife. It's like, but the only other thing that crossed my mind in this whole thing, I'm wondering, is it even remotely possible that this whole thing is to do exactly what we're doing, to wake people up? You think this is all you know what I'm saying? Slap us around to wake us all up to get people back involved with TBC?
Well, I guess there's always a silver lining. So I don't know. This wouldn't be an approach that I would take to get people to wake up. You know.
Well, like I said, I haven't been following this. You know, I got busy I still work for a living, and I've got other things going on now that I'm.
Yeah.
And now here I am following what's going on because of, you know, it's all over Facebook. You can't miss it. Yeah. And I don't know. It's just a thought that crossed my mind.
If it really was just a way to wake up people, then what about it being all over Facebook? It's not a good look. As Randy was saying, it's not a good look. It's not going to be making people want to join the Kringle Society. In fact, it's going to reinforce an idea of TBC as a scam, and that's so. I don't think that this is in any way a good move. It doesn't look good from any angle, and anyway. I appreciate everyone coming on. I would like to wind it up now. If there's anything really pressing, otherwise we'll carry it on tomorrow, same time, except 10 p.m. Hong Kong time. You know, that was a mistake that was that I put there. I don't know how it happened, but. Yeah.
Hey, just one quick thing. You know, I know this is being recorded, okay, but. Now, is there the possibility where we could just go ahead and put somebody in because this guy is temporarily insane? I went and watched, I looked at one of the posts that basically is calling his leaders trolls, the ones that picked him up in the clouds in the first place, and I guess he just wants to camp out up there in the clouds and really be out of touch with reality. And we can't have an admin that's calling himself admin, calling us trolls, and when we're made in God's image, and he made us promises, and now he's going backwards on them, and he's acting like a total troll. He's literally judged himself just by calling us that. And if there's any way that he can be removed, I think he should be removed. And also, there's a gentleman that acts just like him, and I will call this guy out. I'll call both of them out, and I already know who he is.
Nathan, let's not get into the name calling and this. We're trying to come to a peaceful resolution.
I think that would be a peaceful resolution to just kind of push him off of his throne and go ahead and have somebody take over that's sane. But yes,
Nathan, I know, really. I know the anger. I mean, I was so angry, as I said. I'm still very upset about the whole situation. Many people are livid. I've had people crying to me. You know, some people crying are saying they're sad for all the people that they sold coins to, that they brought into this. Some people are sad because they're having death threats. So,
right, and that's exactly what I'm sad too. And you know, if he's going to make these kind of statements and just embolden his idiocracy, if I want to call it that. That, you know, then we could easily just say he's a madman. Let's get him out of here.
Let's keep from calling the name calling. Really, it's not really going to help at this point. I understand the feeling, believe me.
Well, I'll be praying. You know what? I'm actually more worried about him. I really am than the people that are going to probably get beat up, and there's probably going to be some, maybe not. You know what? I don't even know if it's going to get that far because he probably would just have enough common sense to say, you know what? I better quit while I'm ahead. That's what I would do if I was him. But anyways, and we all say, God bless you. You know, go get some. You
get some treatment, you know, take a rest, take a vacation. I don't know, but anyways, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping and praying that only that happens.
All right.
Anyways, that's about all I can say right now.
All right. Thank you. Anything else from anyone? Anyone parting words until tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's good that we reiterate that this is not, we're not here to bash anyone. We are basically expressing a discontent to policies and procedures that have that we disagree with. You know, I think you were trying to make the point a little while ago that, hey, when it comes time to making some new policies and redefining things, there might be another time for that. But right now, we just need to recognize that the current policy that's been established is something that we reject. And that's just as far as we should go right now.
Right. Yes, I agree.
You know,
yeah, well, the whole point of basically airing our grievances and going to a position of maybe doing the Court of Ecclesia at Pantera de Oro, you know, to get, you know, a process started to form a privy council. So all of these things is so that we can, you know, move forward together in peace. All right, and we need to come up with what that looks like, and it takes time to do that. That's why, you know, we take 90 days to sort out how we want to run a privy council. You know, how do we have members to come on to the privy council? How do we, what's the term of the privy council? What is the, you know, what are the positions, you know, that need to be also, and there's also the board of trustees. You know, there's many things to do.
yeah, and we're not saying that we, you know, essentially any kind of council that would come about would have to work hand in hand with admin.
Yeah.
So we, you know, this is not, you know, we're not trying to create a revolt here, guys. We're basically just saying, hey, let's establish a way that we can create some more effective policies and procedures. And like our friend Joseph said, there is an ocean that this stream is leading to, but maybe we just need to come together and sort of define what that ocean looks like, so that we can all, you know, come together, work together, and feel like we're on the same page with the direction of this platform. So, you know, I just want to keep that in mind, because, you know, if we're not careful, guys, you know, our beloved TBC could turn into a pretty crass place, and I don't think that that's any of our intentions. But we just have to control our emotions, even though there might be anger, you know, there might be some upsetness, there might be all this going on, but we must maintain some structure to what we're trying to do here, and minimize emotion, and you know, rely on intelligence and procedure and policy to have the type of outcome that we really want here. So I just want to reiterate that.
All right, that's good. Thank you, Randy. Anything from anyone else, and then if we're okay, then we can.
Yeah, Randy, I just want to say thank you for that, and it is very easy to get emotional, but you know, the value in all of this, and you said our beloved TBC. When you say that, Randy, I see our beloved members in agreement and our friends. That's what I see.
Yes, sir.
People I love and we love, and those are who I'm speaking for, and that's why I'm passionate about admin. Really you know, clear things up, and you know, and get back on the path that he started, and then improve and build up, like Dan says, like, you know, like we all should be, and you do, Randy. I know you always do, and you know, build everybody up, not tear each other down, and that is totally what the mission was for in the first place. So I just
anyways, I'll just say that. I hope I will. That's it. Thank you.
No, thank you, Nathan. All right. Well, I think this is a good place to break. We'll be back tomorrow, 10 p.m. Hong Kong time, and then 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for Randy.
Thanks, Dan.
Oh, you're welcome. All right. So everyone, thank you for all attending, and we will do what we can to, help move past this rough spot, and we'll get where we need to go. We'll get to the ocean. Thanks, Joseph Tan.
And he still has that little tiny window of time to do the right thing, and that's the beautiful thing right now. He's got that golden opportunity to, hey, this is it. This is where you can shine.
All right. Thank you.
Everything.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, John.